Hi, everybody. It's Rebecca. I never really did a decent introduction video for my channel, so I wanted to come on here and just talk for a few minutes about why I started this channel and what I am hoping to accomplish with what I'm doing and what I hope that you will get out of the channel. So I'm going to start at the beginning. I found out that I had breast cancer in '07. And I had a double mastectomy. They ended up taking out 16 lymph nodes under my left arm. They put a port in, which I'm very thankful that I got done. And after that, I had altogether about a year and a half of chemotherapy. Halfway through that, I ended up moving to Alabama from South Florida. And it was in that process that I met my now husband. Gardening was what helped me to remain sane and helped me to get my strength back. Because when I first got here, um, we live on 20 acres just about out in the country, and there was absolutely one flower bed and one big gardenia bush by the house. There was nothing else out here. There was not greenhouse, there was not a hoop house, there was not a chicken coop, there was not a workshop, there was not the koi goldfish pond with a four-tiered fountain in it and a statue. There was not all the flower beds. There was really nothing here but chert and rock, and that was it. Whoever built the house in 1980 shoved every bit of the topsoil down the hill to build the house on, and it left nothing decent in this yard to support plants. And when I started coming out, it was 5 minutes at a time because honestly, that was all of the energy that I possibly could muster to come outside and work in the yard for a few minutes because I was losing my mind just sitting in the house, too tired and too sick to do anything else. So that's how I started gardening here in Alabama. I began going to Lowe's to the discount section, and back then it was before they had the signs where they have the discount ratios and whatever. And I would overlook the whole discount rack, see kind of what they had, and if I thought I could use it all, I would go to the manager and say, I tell you what, if you make me an offer that I cannot refuse, I'll take every single plant that you have. And they would give me insane deals. I mean, I miss those days a lot. But that's how I started my gardening here was, and I would buy perennials mostly. I would have annuals that would be mixed in with it, and of course those didn't last, but the perennials did. So I started getting the perennials and planting them around the house, and I literally started here with a pickaxe and a shovel. I had to have the pickaxe to even break the surface of the ground because it was so hard packed. And I would put compost and leaves and cardboard, paper, whatever in the hole, and it would bring the worms in, and the worms would do all the digging, and then they would be pooping in the soil and amending the soil and making it nice and loamy and rich for the plants. So Butch came out when I was digging the first hole, and he goes, "Babe, nothing grows here. Nothing will grow here. I've lived here for a long time, and it just the soil is too bad." And I said, "I haven't lived here. I can amend the soil. I'll just do it a little bit at a time." So I'd set my timer for 5 minutes. I would come out, I would garden for 5 minutes, and then I would go back in. So one little hole at a time is how I started this whole garden. And he got so excited with the results that he came in and he doubled the width of, or the depth of the flower bed around the deck. And then afterwards, we put in a half circle around the fireplace up against the house. And it just kept growing from there out further and further and around the house. And now we have chickens, chicken coop, chicken yard. We've got the two greenhouses. We've got the goldfish pond, the fountain, all the stuff. And I had been wanting to take the Master Gardener class, and it seemed like every year when it came up, something was going on that I couldn't do it. Well, a friend of mine called me and she said, "Hey, I just signed up for this Master Gardener class right over here in Columbiana. Why don't you go online and you can join if you want to do that?" So I was like, "Oh, great. I've been wanting to do it for years and it just hadn't worked out." So I went online, signed up for the class, became a Master Gardener, and learned so much. I mean, I really highly suggest that if you have one of those in your area to do take that class, because even if you're already an avid gardener, there is so much to be learned. The book that we use is actually from Auburn University for the horticultural class that they have. And they just pull stuff from that and put that into 10 weeks, 1 day a week. And we would have outings and stuff that we would do to go and learn about different things on the different weeks. It's totally all encompassing. You learn about beekeeping, you learn about the soil and the pesticides and the herbicides and the fertilizers and the plants and the bushes and the trees and the whole ecosystem and how everything works. It has really, really changed a lot of my gardening techniques and opened up a lot more for me having done that. I highly, highly recommend it. It was worth the money and worth the time. So what got me to now is people kept telling me, "You need to start a gardening YouTube channel to show people what you're doing." I'm like, "But what I'm doing is so boring. Who wants to watch that?" I mean, that's why. Well, one day I found myself sitting, taking a rest, and I was watching a video on my phone of somebody cleaning a carpet. And that's all they do on those videos is clean carpet. And I was mesmerized by this carpet and how dirty it was. And finally I was just like, okay, if I am watching this video on somebody cleaning a carpet, pretty sure somebody would watch a video on me gardening. So I put it off for a long time. And finally I said, okay, it's time. I'm ready to do this. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I need something to do to keep me from losing my mind. And I also want to do something that I can monetize, that I can make an income from it. And this is the perfect solution. It hits everything for me. And it helps that my husband is super supportive of me. So I started the YouTube channel. My cousin said, "I will definitely help you with that. I can do the technical stuff. I don't know how to do it all, but I'm good at that stuff. I'll figure it out." So that's what she's working on now. And I'm doing the gardening, and I go and I pick up her mom some days and bring her over, and she gets to get out here and garden at whatever level she can for the day. Her health hasn't been good, so this is very, very beneficial for her to be able to come over. She's only like 3 miles away, so I'll go pick her up, and she gets over here, and I said, you know, "Can you do something standing up, sitting down? What makes you more comfortable today?" And I'll find some project that she can do, and she gets to garden and gets her out of the house and helps me out, and we get to talk and chat. So it's just a really positive thing. Sometimes we'll go to breakfast, or we're going to go to lunch next time, I think. But, you know, just enjoying it with somebody else. So I started the YouTube channel, and I'm doing the video now, and I don't know how to do what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing it. So I hope that people find something inspiring, that no matter what is going on in your life, that you can do something that is beneficial for your health and beneficial for your mind. And in today's society, with everything being so butt backwards, we'll say, that is something that's lacking for a lot of people. And we need to be able to connect with something that helps us feel better. And gardening is so therapeutic that it's something that even if you have just an apartment, that you can do some gardening in a pot by a window. Or if you don't have windows, you can get a light. There's something that you can do. Even if you don't know how to garden, people think, "Oh, I kill plants." Honey, I kill plants every single week. I mean, it's just a numbers game. It's just the way it is. So I keep working at it and I keep killing some plants, but a lot of them survive. So there's always seeds. They're inexpensive. If you kill plants, get some seeds. Learn how to put them in the ground and get them to grow. Get some from friends. Another thing I've done is trade a lot of plants. Once the garden started growing so good and I had excess plants, I needed to get rid of a bunch. I had a bunch of daylilies that actually I found in the edge of the woods that were just the leaves. They never grew because they didn't have enough sunlight. And I got to looking at them one day. It was like, these look like daylilies. So I dug some up and I put them over in the flower bed over by the deck. And sure enough, they were the double orange daylilies. They're called Kwanzaa. And some people call them ditch lilies. Well, those things grew so good and proliferated so much that I finally, after a few years, had to dig a bunch of them out of the bed and minimize a bunch of them. And I tried giving them away on Facebook Marketplace. And people would be like, oh, I want 5. Can you meet me somewhere? Like, no, I'm giving you plants. You come get them. So I started putting a dollar value on each one. It's like, I'll sell them for $1 each. I had people one day lined up down my driveway, one car after the other down the driveway, to pick up their plants. And some people had bought 20, some people bought 10, some people had bought 50. And I'm taking money as the cars are coming in and handing them the bag. And finally, about the 4th car, there was an older couple. And I said, you know, I feel like I'm fixing to get arrested for like dealing drugs out of my house. They started laughing. The lady said, well, they are addictive. I said, yes, they are. So that's how I started selling plants from the house, is just by dividing the plants that I already had too many of and sharing them with other people. So that's one thing that I do with that and have had a lot of success. And I met some really, really great people doing that. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, sometimes the whole family will come out. And one time there was this whole family and they bought so many plants that they almost didn't have room to put the kids in the car with them. It was hilarious. So the kids are like sitting in the car and they were holding plants, and there's plants coming out of everywhere out of this station wagon. It was it was pretty funny. But um I try to do it as economical as possible because I figure there's so many things that get put in the landfill that doesn't need to be. And I found a sawmill over near here that they have all the sawdust, and now I've been getting the sawdust from them. And the last time, the guy actually called me, and I was trying to figure out what the weather was going to be like so I could take the trailer over and I knew it had to be about 6 or 7 bags of those great big fabric contractors bags. So he calls me at 7:30 that morning. I answered the phone, and he's like, I was just wondering if I could bring those to you. I'm like, oh, heck yes, you can. So he brought them over, and I used them in the chicken coop. I used them in the pathways. I used them to fill in low spots in the yard, in the grass, because it decomposes pretty quick. And it also helps hold the moisture in the ground, and also keeps, whenever it rains really hard, it keeps it from running and eroding the soil away. So I use that. I'm signed up for Chip Drop, though I haven't gotten any bites. I'm kind of away from Birmingham. There is Chip Drop going on in Birmingham area, but I'm out a good ways, so I don't know if I'm ever going to get a Chip Drop. So I get what I can. So right now it's sawdust. If I get a Chip Drop, I will be over the moon. But that's what I'm doing with my channel. That's what I'm doing with my garden. And I'm hoping that in this process that you find inspiration, for your health, for yourself, for your garden, for whatever. So if you would please like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is going to be a long, fun journey, I'm hoping. So that's all I have to say about my garden today. I've been out working. I'm hot and sweaty. I've changed the water out for the one of the chicken pens, and I've got so many plants that need to go on the ground. So I got to get off and get busy with that. I'll catch you on another video. Have a wonderful day. get out there in your garden and have some fun. Bye.